Sistahs, ReggieCon edition. I'm Sistah A.
I'm Sistah LM.
I'm Sistah J.
And I am Sistah K. And welcome to episode number 19. Let's get started. Woohoo!
Hey, y'all.
Back.
Hello.
All four
Hey, fam.
sisters.
We're back together.
Woohoo!
Welcome back, Ella.
Yes.
Thank you.
We are so excited to bring you our Ask the Sistahs from ReggieCon. And before we get into our ReggieCon content, we have some special testimonies from our Sistah Speak family. We asked and y'all did deliver by letting us know how you found us, what kept you listening to us, and how you became a member of the Sistah Speak family. We are going to read all of those for you here today because we did not actually have time during ReggieCon. ReggieCon's schedule was packed.
Crazy.
Packed tight.
They got to stay on schedule.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to read those all off to you here. But before we get started, let's talk about what we are lipping, sipping, and swagging with tonight.
Okay, I'm kicking us off. I've got my usual Sistah Speak Pank Yeti full of nice cold ice waters. Gonna take a sip.
Sip, sip.
Sippity doo dah. For my blings and swags, I have got on my ReggieCon Ask the
Yes.
No, not Ask the Sistahs, but ReggieCon
Sistah Speak Productions.
Sistah Speak Productions at ReggieCon.
T-shirt 2023.
Woo!
I also have on my silver A today, and I've got on my soul sister bracelet. Thank you, Sister LM.
Oh, like what's happening?
I'm like,
I took it off because I wasn't sure we were going to do this, and I just put it back on. For my lippy today, I have got on my Cover Girl Outlast All Day,
Ooh.
and this is number 599, and I didn't have time to look up what that means, so if you like it, you just have to look it up. Great,
like a berry.
yeah, it's
That's
very
pretty,
nice.
though.
It
Thank
is.
you.
I like that
It
one.
does get dry because it's matte, so I've got on some Elf lip lacquer on top.
Okay.
And that's it for me.
I will hop in next. I'll start with my swag. I too have on my Sistah Speak Productions at ReggieCon
Nice.
2023. I have our logo on my watch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I also have my rose gold Sistah LM necklace. Thank you, Sistah K. And my Soul Sisters bracelet as well.
Nice.
Thank you, Mom.
Nice.
And then for my drink, I have my Sistah Speak Yeti with my name. Just with water, plain water, no ice, no flavor. Then this is the surprising part. So I did a little bit of layering. So I have the Liquid Catsuit Wet n Wild Rebel Rose,
Ooh.
which
Oh.
is one of my faves.
Very nice light.
A
color.
nice
Yeah,
nude.
I
Light
really
pink.
like it.
Mhm.
Light, dusty pink.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then I read up on my incredible, yes, I
Calm
read up
bomb.
on it. Mhm.
Oh.
Yep.
Got your combo.
So I've got this
And get your
on
bomb
top.
back. Okay.
But the best part,
Uh-oh.
More?
I lined my lips
That's right.
Oh, here we go.
with the appropriately sized
Oh no, she got you doing it.
Avon Glimmer 6 chocolate.
What?
Oh.
Whoa!
Chocolate.
She got it.
I got it.
Don't you love
Mama-
it?
I love it. Mama Ellen went to the Avon store and
Yeah.
bought us
Wow.
I like going into the store
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
some. Yes.
Those glimmer sticks are the best.
They
Lip
last
liners.
forever.
are.
They
They really
and
are.
they're so smooth and
They
creamy for
are.
it to be a lip liner. They're creamy.
Yes.
But they're not creamy to the point where it'll just wipe off.
No.
Like
No.
there are
Yeah.
lip liners that will just wipe
Yeah.
on off when you just touch it.
No.
But they're not like
Doesn't.
that, which
it
I like.
stays put.
Yes.
Yes.
It does.
And I haven't had to sharpen it. So,
I never sharpen mine.
okay.
Never do.
I haven't
And
either.
I
Okay.
use them all the way up to the very end, and then I just open a new one.
Okay.
Yep. Mhm.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Okay. Well,
That's it for me.
okay. Well, I will go next. Let's see for my bling. I have my also my ReggieCon t-shirt.
Yeah.
And this is so nice and comfortable and soft.
Mhm.
And as I pointed out to the sisters, I like it because it's a crew neck. Because sometimes I do get tired of wearing the V-neck and stuff. So I like that. It comes up high. So,
Mhm.
and I have my blingy Sister J. Thank you, Sister A. Right there. There's my blingy J. And it's kind of hard to see against the white. But I too have my Soul Sister bracelet on today. Thank you, Sister Stella. Okay, for my hydration, we have so many Yetis, but I would say that other than the Sistah Speak Pink, this is my favorite because I use it all the time. This is my Seafoam
Oh yeah.
Yeti, authentic Yeti, and I
It
just love this size. And I like it because it's just easy to grip, fits in the car and everything. And
It
I'm
actually
drinking.
looks seafoam today with you.
Yeah,
It does.
It does.
This is my Seafoam.
Your light must
And
be going out.
Yeah, it's a little dimmer. And what do I have in here? Oh, I have some dregs of my ice cold 7-Up.
Dregs.
Oh, okay.
Old school. I felt old school today.
Okay.
7-Up. Okay. And let's see, for my lippy today, I have on one of my favorites. This is my Milani. I love
Ooh,
Milani because it's so
yes.
creamy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
this one is called number 44 Cinnamon Spice.
Ooh, that's nice.
Ooh.
I like that.
It's
That's
just
real
very,
nice.
very lightly
Red.
metallic.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know, just a teensy bit.
Is that a new
And-
one?
No,
Oh, you haven't really worn that one. I don't
no,
No.
not a yacht.
Yeah, you
And of
haven't.
Of course, I too have my appropriately sized Avon Glimmer Sticks lip liner
In
in chocolate.
chocolate.
Chocolate toast.
2 chocolates.
Chocolate.
Chocolate toast.
So the toast
My-
might be a little bit lighter, huh?
It might be because mine's just chocolate.
No, mine is chocolate
She's
too, but I
toasting
mean
her.
toasting you. I'm toasting
Oh,
you.
my bad. Clink, clink, clink.
Cheers.
Clink, clink, clink.
And that's it for me.
All right, I will go last. For my bling, I forgot my Soul Sister bracelet. I'm sorry. I know it's across the room, but I do have my permanent swag here, and also my Sistah Speak Productions at ReggieCon T-shirt,
Yes.
and it's so comfy,
It is.
It
Yeah.
is.
soft,
Mhm.
very comfy and soft. For my hydration, I have my Sistah Speak Pink Bierstein mug. And I
Yeah.
have some Snapple kiwi strawberry in here, left over from earlier.
Nice, nice.
Oh, I
And then
bet that tastes good. Kiwi strawberry.
It's good.
Mm.
And then I also have another Yeti, my little
What?
baby Yeti with my government,
Okay.
Double
government
Yeti.
on there.
Double Yeti Day.
And I'm still battling my cough, so
Yeah.
sorry if you hear me clanking a cough drop. But this has some hot apple cider with some honey.
Ooh, that should help your
nice.
throat.
That sounds
It
good.
should.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Soothing.
It's good. And then for my lippy, I have
What
an
you
oldie
got?
but a goodie. This is my
Uh-oh.
Maybelline Superstay ink crayon.
Okay.
Love that.
And this
color.
is in the color of Be Bold, Be You. And it's got a little
Ooh.
twisty thing, kind of like
Yeah.
a pencil.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it
Mhm.
because it goes on so creamy and nice. It's not dry and you don't have to sharpen it. Although this thing does have a sharpener. I don't ever use it.
Oh, okay.
And it just glides down.
It's
Nice.
really bold.
It's nice and
Yeah,
bold.
that's
I love
nice.
this one.
I like that.
Mhm.
And it's all contained in this little stick. And that is it for me.
Okay.
Okay, so I know all y'all want to get to your Ask the Sistahs questions at ReggieCon. And we had a great surprise for y'all when you watch this. This is going to be a little bit later, so fast forward. Well, no, don't fast forward.
No.
No, don't fast forward.
Never ever.
Watch
Listen
the
to these
testimonies.
testimonials
Listen to these testimonies from our fellow family members.
because
Yes.
they good.
And then we'll get into the ReggieCon content.
That's right.
Yes.
So we're going to do this a little different since my throat is a little bit raw. This is going to help me read everything today.
Well, yeah, we're going to see how that goes.
Yes.
And my voice is going in and out. So it's really Sister J and A.
Yes.
We're going to work together.
We're going
Yes.
to work together on
Teamwork.
this one.
Yes.
Yep.
So our very first one, I think that is going to be Sister A.
I am going to hop in. Our first testimonial today is from Goody Roo. And I just want to thank Goody because she went above and beyond for the sisters. She was trying to get people to go ahead, get your stuff in, help us out.
Mhm.
She wrote in an Ask the Sistahs question. She wrote in a testimonial. She even wrote in a follow-up to a previous Ask the Sistahs. So
She
thank
did.
you for all of your work, Goody.
Yes.
It's
We
much
so
appreciated.
appreciate you, Goody.
Love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. All right.
Yes, she sent in a voicemail. So we're going to play that for you now.
Okay.
Hey, sisters. Hey, fam. It's Goody from North Kakalaki. So here's my Sistah Speak testimonial. I discovered Sistah Speak sometime around 2012 when I was looking for a Game of Thrones, or as we call them, Dem Thrones podcast. That just wasn't a bunch of dudes or snobs. So from the first few minutes I listened to Sistah Speak Game of Thrones, I was hooked. Hilarious, smart, sharp, and real. I had found my home for podcasts. So here's some of my favorite moments from throughout the years. The many times I and others have gotten roasted for being long-winded. I also laugh every time Sister K calls Sister J belligerent. And I love any and every tangent, from the discussions of appropriate length for a straw or a lip liner, to tiny snacks, to Toot Sweet. And you know I had to bring in that reference.
Yes.
Goody.
But probably my favorite part of the whole experience is getting slowly pulled into the Sistah Speak Nation, which is a family. I have met so many awesome nerds from all over the globe. And y'all have in turn introduced me to content I would have never otherwise seen. The sisters have brought me and so many of us so much joy. We love you, sisters.
Aww.
Thank you,
Goody.
We love you, Goody
Goody.
Roo.
We love you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
that
you
was
so much.
awesome, Goody.
Aw.
Very nice.
I love that she even added in some examples of some of
Yes.
our shenanigans over the
Yes.
years.
You know
Yes.
what?
I caught the appropriately sized shade.
Hey,
Okay.
I caught the Toot Sweet shade.
Yes.
Oh, man.
And I got
Never
those tiny
forget.
snacks.
Yeah.
She did
I know
throw
what you're
the
talking
tiny
about.
snacks in there. They're like the 3 chips.
Free Pringles.
Oh, my gosh. That was great.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you,
so
Goody.
much, Goody.
Thank you.
That was awesome. All right. Well, I think we'll move on to the second one that we received. And that one is also a voicemail, and it came from Will from Seatown. Will is another OG family member. who has been a guest host on several of our podcasts in the past, Walking Dead. Woo woo. And so let me play Will's.
Okay.
My Sistah Speak testimonial. I was at the gym looking for a podcast while I treadmilled. I needed to be distracted when I read Game of Thrones from a sister's point of view. Say no more. Sister K and Sister J were and are incomparable. I loved it from the moment I started listening, and I have been listening ever since. For politics, it's Haps on Tack. For soccer, aka world football, it's Men in Blazers. And for pop culture, it's without a doubt the Sistahs. They are the people who you want to talk with about shows. They bring a perspective that is sadly missing, but what I like most about them is the sense of community they've built through truth, one-liners, taglines, and unabashed hilarity. I guest hosted with the incredible Sister K on more than a few occasions, and it was so much fun. On a final note, I'm still salty about the dumbassery of lowercase d&d when they moved away or just ignored the Game of Thrones source material. Right, Sister K? I can hear her now. I know that's right. Will from C-Town, out.
Yes, Will.
Oh,
Thank you,
Yes.
Will.
Thank you, Will.
I know that is right.
Yes.
I say
He was
I'm
all
going to be
salty.
forever salty. I'm never going to not be salty on that.
We
Yeah.
know you not.
Yep.
Still mad about it. It's been how many years?
A long time.
Thank you so much, Will. Will also sent in a couple of things. He also sent in an Ask the Sistahs question. So we'll hear that later on in the episode. So
yes,
thank you so much,
indeed.
Will, for always being a support
Yes.
for us sisters and
Thanks,
being there
Will.
when we bring out the call for stuff or hosts. He's always
Yep.
willing to help out.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Will. Okay, I think our next one is Sister
Is
A, right?
from Carla.
Ooh,
So
hey,
Carla is an OG from way, way back, which you'll find out there. But she's also gotten back with us recently. She's had a couple of little ones. And when we did our The Last of Us podcast, she popped back up from Canada.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and play her testimonial now.
Hi, Sistahs. This is Carla, and you might not remember me, but it's fitting that I came back
Of course we do.
during The Last of Us because I started listening to you when you were doing The Walking Dead. In fact, I have a Walking Dead mug in my cupboard as I speak. So you might not remember me, but I sent
We
in
do.
pictures of my little baby boy, and that was 2015. And now he's 7, turning 8, and I have a little girl who's 3. So I just wanted to say hi because you guys haven't heard my voice in probably 7 years, but I'm still here. And I'm so glad you're covering Last of Us. It's so nice to see your faces. I love the YouTube videos. You guys crack me up, and I haven't been able to be fast enough, but I really wanted to send in a little hi and a backstory, see if you guys remember me, and just saying how grateful I am for these. Honestly, have not laughed this hard in a long time. And, it's been a hard last 2 years for me. My mom died during COVID from cancer. And I don't know, sometimes we all need some place to laugh. And I have not laughed this hard, this much, honestly, in years. So listening to you guys has been so great. So I just wanted to do that as a catch up, and then I'll send in comments on the finale. All right, this is Carla. Carla from Canada, and the cold part where a lot of these scenes from Last of Us are very, very close to my heart, and very close to what I live in. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Oh, thank you,
Oh,
Carla.
thank you,
Carla.
And you know what, though, Carla? Believe it or not, we don't forget nobody. We remember.
Yes.
Yes, you sent us the pictures.
We
in their
remember.
little snow
And especially,
outfits.
to think he's 7.
Yes.
I
Dang,
know.
that time went quick.
Mhm.
Quick.
And 3.
2019.
The new
Three.
baby is
Boom.
3.
New baby
New.
girl.
Yeah.
We need updated pictures.
Yeah, need some pictures.
Yes.
Yes.
I can't imagine living where the damn Last of Us was at. In that cold,
Isn't that cold? Hey, she in Canada. It's
She's
cold
in
all
Canada,
over Canada.
She's in,
Right.
yeah.
Mhm.
But it ain't no filming. She living there all the time.
She is.
That's a little too cold for me and Sister A.
I was just gonna say y'all would
yeah.
probably like
And
that.
So you know it's cold.
We like cold, but
Not
that's
that
a
cold?
You
different
have to
kind
try
of
it
cold.
out.
I couldn't do it.
I
I'd
bet it would be
freezing.
nice in the summer, though, LM.
Yes.
Oh,
I bet it
Mhm.
doesn't get too hot up there.
True.
So maybe we could go there for the
I guarantee you it don't.
Yeah.
It's probably too cold for me, even in the summer.
Probably.
Yeah.
That would be nice to go visit up there in the summer.
Yes.
It would.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's beautiful.
It's
Mhm.
beautiful,
Country.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Carla. And Carla
Thank you,
also,
Carla.
Thank you so much, Carla.
we'll hear her later on with the Ask the Sistahs too.
Yes, indeed. Our fourth testimonial is from our beloved friend, Mastin, who we've gotten to know in person in Dallas. She came to visit us, and we love her, and we love Eli and the whole family. So
Yambi.
Yambi.
Yes.
Mhm.
And her testimonial, I'm going to read now.
Okay.
She says, "Hi, sisters. Please see my comments below. Sister J, I tried to keep it short, but it's still going to be long as. LOL."
We give you
Might
a
let it
pass.
slide.
Yeah, we give you a pass, Monty.
She says, "I located the sisters on iTunes during a search for a podcast about Game of Thrones. It was Sister J's infectious laugh and caustic commentary that pulled me in.
Ooh, caustic.
I spent many hours listening to the sisters while I worked at a job that I was very unhappy in. My coworkers would hear me chuckle and would ask me why I was laughing. I would simply tell them I was listening to a podcast. On more than one occasion, I would have to restrain myself, busting out with laughter. It was a way for me to enjoy Game of Thrones in a new and exciting way. I also started listening to Sistah Speak's True Blood podcast, and even though I thought the True Blood TV show was campy and trashy, the sisters kept me watching because of their reviews. I never laughed so much. One word that stands out, merkin. If you know, you know.
Merkin.
Oh my gosh, we had many a convo about that.
In September 2016, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I have had multiple surgeries, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy over a 9-month time period. The love, laughter, prayers, and support that the sisters extended towards me was so therapeutic. There were many days that I felt physically ill, but listening to Sister J put a readout, somebody's long-ass voicemail message, or Sister K's spontaneous laughing fits kept me laughing so hard at times my stomach hurt. I turned my daughter Niambi and my late son-in-law Eli on to listening to the podcasts.
Yes.
Then they started sending in feedback voicemails, and were getting shout-outs from the sisters. They attended the Chicago and Nashville reunions. Yes. Before I could attend my first reunion in Dallas for a wonderful time of fellowship and fun.
Yes.
Who would have thought that people from all over the U.S. and overseas would come together for a meetup with strangers?
Yeah.
But we weren't strangers. We knew each other's voices from the hours and hours of listening to each other's voicemails and comments about the shows. We came together as a family of avid TV watchers who love sharing their colorful opinions about the shows. We became the Sistah Speak Nation. Much love, Mastin.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Thank
That
you,
was
Mastin.
Laughter is the best medicine.
And
It
it's
really
just
is.
so weird to me because we're just like talking. I mean, this is our real personality.
Conversation.
Yeah.
You know, so,
it is.
but yeah. All right now.
And it might be caustic at
Don't
sometimes.
start now, won't be none.
But there's
Don't
a lot
start
of
now,
love.
won't be none.
Exactly.
Everybody know that. But I remember podcasts where we would almost have to end it because Sister K just couldn't quit laughing.
We did. We stopped and had to come back like a whole hour later.
Out of control.
She'd get the tickles and just, there you go.
It wasn't just me. You was laughing too.
That's true.
Oh my gosh, we had so many fun. But podcasts.
Yes, our reunions were just so unique. I mean,
Yes.
just who would have
really
ever
were.
And like Mastin said, people from all over and overseas.
all over?
Yes.
We did not feel like strangers.
No.
No, not
It was
at all.
a family,
Yeah.
a true family reunion.
Yeah.
From
was.
the start, from the
the
first
start.
one,
Yeah.
Chicago, from that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People came by themselves.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
bravery they had to come.
Yes.
And it was
Traveling
just,
alone.
yeah,
Yes.
It
Amazing.
was great.
I'm
Yeah.
still
Yes.
amazed by that.
me too.
I am too.
Yeah.
And I miss it. I miss it a lot.
Yeah.
We
I
haven't had
know.
one for 3 years?
Yeah.
yeah.
Since
We're
2019.
so overdue.
We are
so
way overdue.
overdue.
Way overdue. We're going to get it together. We're going to get it together.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so
our
much for
next
that
one.
one.
Thank you,
Yes.
Montine.
Our next one is a testimony from Joseph, and I will
Ooh.
read this one. Joseph, OG, from when he was a little case J,
Yeah.
Little.
A lowercase j.
a
When he
lowercase
had
J.
no business listening to us.
None.
Yeah, lowercase
None.
J.
None. You know his mama and daddy didn't know he was listening to
You
us.
know they didn't. We were on his headphones. They had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's a grown up now, though.
Yeah.
Grown up.
So Joseph says, I've been a listener of the Sistah Speak podcast since their coverage of HBO's True Blood back in 2008. Ooh,
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
wow. Fast forward to 2023, and I am one of many listeners from their True Blood days who still
Yeah.
follow the ever-growing Sistah Speak network, Nation, Productions, podcast. What makes their array of podcasts stand out from the rest is their outpouring of love and dedication to reading and listening to every single listener feedback they get on the week's episode. Yes,
Yes.
even when it's long ass.
Yes.
That is where I believe the Sistah Speak Nation first started. Before our Facebook group, sending in feedback was our only way to not only communicate with Sister J and Sister K, but it was also a way to connect with the other listeners.
Yes.
That's what made their podcast different. It organically created our very own Sistah Speak family. Through the various shows they covered through years, I too was tuning in just to be able to listen to them. Now, for a podcast to get me to watch a show just because they are covering it, only the Sistah Speak podcast can make that happen.
Aw.
Joseph from Las Vegas.
Thank you,
Aw,
Joseph.
Thank you, Joseph.
Oh
You
my
know
God.
we heart you.
15 years.
Yes.
He was like 12 when he started this.
Oh, he
thing.
was very young.
He was a
He was
baby.
very young.
I think he was like 11.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think
He was too young to be listening to us fuss and
Yes.
cuss.
for sure.
Well, he was too young to be watching True Blood.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Wow,
Okay.
Joseph.
Yeah. We've had that conversation with Joseph
Many times.
before.
And with
probably
his
like-
mom.
And his
And his
mother.
mom.
And his mom.
Yep. They're like, look, it's past now. He grown.
Yeah. Nothing
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
do now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we met his wonderful parents. They are just
Yes.
so lovely.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
very, very
Yeah.
lovely.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank
That
you,
was a fun
Joseph.
trip too. That was our last trip.
It
Oh,
was.
Vegas.
Vegas was fantastic.
Oh, it was so good.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Hot, but fantastic.
Hot as hell.
Yeah, it was hot, as hell, but
Hot as hell.
that's better than cold for me. Okay, our next one, I'm going to attempt to read this, y'all. Now, see, let me say first.
Oh,
Here we go.
Lord.
Here we go.
Excuse me. Let me say first. Those longtime listeners to our podcast know there's a reason why Sister K does all the reading of this stuff. But anyway, be that
Here we
as
go.
it may, I'm gonna try. Okay, this is from one of our family members. This is from Bria. Hey, Bria.
Hey, Bria.
And she
Hey,
says,
Bria.
"Hey, sisters, this is Bria from Detroit.
Hey.
Hey, LM.
Hey, neighbor.
She says, I found you guys years ago when a good friend of mine told me about you back when you were doing Fringe podcasts.
Ooh.
Remember that?
And that's going back
Taking
to
it back.
The F word.
Oh, the F word,
The
y'all.
F word.
Fringe was my favorite show at the time. Ours too. Really, we loved it.
Yeah.
I was looking for something funny because I had a lot of things going on in my life. Don't we all?
Oh.
From there, I listened to The Walking Dead. Parentheses, to this day, I say trick hoe when referring to women I don't like. That's right, Bria.
Yes.
Wow.
Because The Walking Dead had that trick hoe in there.
They had about 5 of them in that show
Ooh,
alone.
that's a lot for one
Right.
show.
In that show alone, there was
That's
4 to
whole
5
heavy.
of them.
Oh, heavy.
Oh, heaven. Not whole heaven.
She said heavy. I think she said heavy.
Oh,
Heavy.
whole
Not
heaven.
heaven.
Oh, heavy.
Oh, my goodness.
Like 5 is too many.
It was for the same show.
She says, I first started, from there, I listened to The Walking Dead, True Blood, and Game of Thrones podcasts, and many others throughout the years. You guys have been such a source of joy and entertainment for me through the years. I love the podcast and I adore the family. I don't always get to send in feedback and things like that, but I'm always listening, and you guys have helped me through some of the most difficult times of my life. I am just so happy and grateful that my friend, who I'm not even friends with anymore, told me about you all those years ago. Whoop.
We need that
Bria,
backstory.
Yeah.
We need that Ask the Sisters
Next
backstory.
we
Ask the
do.
Sisters.
Yes.
She
I want the
said-
tea.
Yeah, we want the tea. She says, love you guys and thanks for all the great content and wonderful community you've built. You are greatly appreciated. Much love, Bria. Oh, thank you, Bria.
Bria.
Please.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, we want the scoop on this used to be friends.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good story.
It does sound like a good story. Dang.
Mhm.
But thank you, used to be friend for getting her into
Yes.
the Sisters.
I wonder who it is, though, because it's
Mhm.
obviously somebody that
Well,
listens to our podcast.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Are
Oh,
they
shit.
still
I wonder if they still
listening?
listen.
Ooh.
Oh, she might not want to tell. Well, you know what? You might not want to tell us on the air, but we can just tell us. We can. 'cause
Yeah,
we
you can just tell us.
Send
We
us an
won't
email.
care.
read it.
Send us an email.
Oh, we nosy as hell.
Yeah, we are.
That's right. We
You know
we
it.
want to know.
We want to know.
Okay. Now, our next testimonial is from one of our OG greats, Miss Shalita from Philly.
Yes.
Ooh, she is just awesome. She says, hey, sisters, it's
She has
Shalita
a-
from Philly.
She has a voicemail too, Sister J. Do you want to play
Oh,
that or do
does
you want to
she?
read it?
Yeah, play the voicemail.
Okay.
Hey, sisters. It's Shalita from Philly. I'm sending, I guess, a little message, for your ReggieCon, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yep.
Been listening to you guys since True Blood, and it's been quite the ride. I remember being in the car with my mom and listening to it, and she had no idea what was going on, but she just always enjoyed when you guys were laughing and such.
Yes. Yes.
We've been through a lot.
Yeah.
True Blood, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's been a genuine pleasure to interact with all of you and meet all the family at our various gatherings. And I wish you just the best of luck with everything. I have no idea what I'm supposed to say here, but just love you guys and keep up the good work. Bye.
Oh, thank you, Shalita.
Yeah. And for all you do for us. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you so
so
much.
much.
Say
And
that
I mean,
again.
if anybody that don't know, go back and listen to our Walking
Walking
Dead.
Dead.
and all of the testimonials from the actual actors
Yes.
in The Walking
Right.
Dead.
In our
Miss
intro.
Shalita from Philly got all those for us.
All
Mhm.
those.
All of them.
Con
All of them.
queen.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't
So,
even know
yeah.
how she did it.
Oh,
It's not
she
easy.
is. She is
No.
smooth.
Fearless.
She is
Yeah.
He
good.
made it work.
Fearless.
Mhm.
Miss Shalita.
Love it.
Thank you very
I
much,
listen to that
Shalita.
every once in a while whenever I want to pick me up.
Me
Oh,
too.
Hearing
nice.
all of those voices.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
and
she
all
got
of-
them to say Sistah Speak Nation and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I mean, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. So thank you, Shalita.
Thank you, Shalita.
And also, thank you, because for my 40th birthday, I went to Philly.
Oh, did you?
I did for my 40th.
Mhm.
And her, Tiff, and Tartar
That's
took me
right.
around
Yes.
town.
Right.
We had an awesome, awesome time. They were very
Yes.
good hosts.
Oh, that's
Thank you.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
I remember that now because you posted pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
do
I remember that.
you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you don't know, Shalita gives the best hugs.
The best
The
hugs.
So I'm looking forward
Okay.
to another one of those
The
best.
sometime
Best.
soon.
Yes.
Mhm. And she's a
Yes.
very good fill-in host too.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, she
Mhm.
is.
Mhm. Very good.
Thank you,
Our
Shalita.
next, thank you, Shalita. Our next testimonial is from another one of our faves. Called everybody's our fave though, but this is another fave who actually is also a very good fill-in host, and that's Dina. She
Yes.
said,
Dina.
yeah.
Dina.
Hey,
Hey,
Dina.
Dina.
Hey, Dina. She says, hey, sisters. I first found y'all on Spotify after Dim Thrones was done, and I was missing one of my most favorite shows ever. I went looking for a podcast and I saw the way Sistahs was spelled, and I knew instantly these were my people.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Spell it right.
It is not no sister. Anyway, she said, I rarely came across Black Geek podcasts, and I was really excited. I listened to the last season episodes, and y'all were going in on D&D. What really sealed the deal for me
Hello.
is y'all talking about Jon Snow having relations with his MFT.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay, we
Hey.
don't like that shit.
Didn't
You
like
gotta
that
talk
shit.
about
But wait, the part that was the worst is we had to read all them MFers who was shipping that shit.
Oh, nasty
How
ass.
you gonna ship that?
Anyway, she says, she says,
Thank
man,
you, A.
yeah, she says, man, I died laughing so many times. I also love that you genuinely spoke your minds, whether it was a popular opinion or not.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have my love and respect for life. I've enjoyed these last 3 years of being a part of the Sistah Speak Nation. May your brand continue to grow, and I get to meet you all in person in the future.
Yes.
Yes.
Your girl,
Awesome.
Dina from the ATL.
Thank you, Dina.
Dina.
Thank you. We hope to meet you too next time.
Oh,
Yes.
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 That'd be awesome.
I think we've
That
met
would
her
be-
on Zoom with
Yes.
her
Did.
hubby.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we need
We
to meet in
did.
person.
But not in person, not yet. So,
And she and her hubby do a podcast called Drunken Blurty.
Yes.
So they drink and they talk about nerd shit.
Our kind of thing.
Perfect.
You
Go
know
wrong
what?
with that
So do
formula.
we.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait a minute, so do we.
Yep.
We just ain't drinking today.
Right.
We don't have a full bar behind us like they do.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Full
we don't.
bar.
Thank you, Dina. That was
Thank
very,
you
very
so much,
nice.
Thank
Dina.
you so much, Dina.
Yeah. We appreciate it.
And thank you also for being a co-host
Yes.
Yes.
when the call arises.
Mhm.
Okay, our next one is from OG Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie. And she actually sent in a voicemail.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, ReggieCon. This is Jackie from Silicon Valley. And first of all, I just wanted to say how incredibly jealous I am that you all get to be there with the sisters in person. And as someone who has stalked them throughout the years and has flown to many cities to hang out with them in person, there's nothing better than a hug from Sister K, Sister J, Sister LM, and Sister A. But I first discovered their podcast back in 2012 when I found their True Blood podcast. And as someone, who is an elder millennial, Vietnamese American, and grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, it was definitely a search, trying to find podcasts that kind of reflected what I wanted to hear. And when I stumbled on their True Blood podcast, I kind of lost my mind. And that was the start of the obsession. Because I was so floored to really get to hear, women of color speak so, they just have incredibly insightful feedback, analysis about a super fun, campy show, but also be so fundamentally freaking funny, and like they're so hilarious. And I just love that they don't gatekeep. Right? Everyone is welcome. And I just love that they just keep it real. Like a lot of times, it's fine, to really go in depth, about like some kind of nerd verse, right? That you absolutely love, or show that you love. But a lot of times it was just so fun to just hear them talk like the way you would talk, with a coworker when you, watch Game of Thrones the night before, as you're talking about the show the next day. I think the magic of the Sistah Speak podcast is that because they don't gatekeep and they are so welcoming, they have found this incredible community of listeners who are just as obsessed with them. And it's been so fun to be part of the official Sistah Speak family. And I hope some of you at the panel are able to join as well. In terms of a question for...
Okay. Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie.
Oh,
she was back. Yes, and she was recently in Dallas on some other business.
She went to the pinball convention.
Yes.
And we got to meet and have dinner, and it was a wonderful time.
I'm so
wonderful
jealous.
time. It was so much. It was so fun. It was so fun. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you,
Jackie.
She gives really good hugs too.
Yes, she does. And she's
See you
just so
soon.
she's our people.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just so outgoing and for real. No pretense, no nothing. That's exactly
Good
what
people.
Always
she
smiling.
is. Yes.
No upbeat.
Yes. So
love.
thank you, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie.
And our very last testimony that we have, thank y'all all so much for doing this, is from Caitlin.
Hey, Caitlin.
Hey, Caitlin.
Hey, Caitlin.
She says, hey, friends, Caitlin here. A few months ago, I decided to do a True Blood rewatch and knew I needed a good podcast to go along with it. A quick Google search, and you ladies popped up with some great reviews. Within the first few minutes, I knew I was in for the long haul. I loved listening to your reactions to the madness that was coming, as well as those writing in or sending in voicemails. The humor, along with the feeling of community, led me to seek out the Facebook group, which is called Sistah Speak Nation, by the way. Mm-hmm. I was happy to hear that there were podcasts about other shows, and I've officially started Dem Thrones.
Hey!
Yes.
And for a treat. I'm very excited to hear everyone's thoughts on such a crazy show. I especially can't wait to hear thoughts on how it ended. Oh, boy.
Well.
Yes. That last season.
No. There you go, baby.
That last season.
You will learn that watching Thrones.
Yes, that's from Thrones too.
You will learn what that means.
Listen, it made me want to tell HBO.
Okay.
Right.
Run it.
Run it. My stomach.
Thank you for bringing us such smart and hilarious commentary while bringing a fabulous group of people together. Sending love, Caitlin.
Thank you, Caitlin. I'm glad you found us and you're enjoying it too.
Yes, welcome.
Woo.
And she is a fairly new, like she just found us a few months ago.
Yes.
Thank
From
you.
all those old podcasts. Thank you so much.
Now, once you start getting into them Thrones podcast episodes, they're hours long.
Oh yeah.
Hours.
Some are like 3 hours.
No.
Longer.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
longer.
I
Five,
think
six,
our
7.
longest one was a Game of Thrones one.
It
Yeah.
was.
A lot of
Mhm.
feedback. A lot.
I feel like I remember having pages, like flip 2 columns and flipping it over and having another column and another column.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yes.
We loved it though. We loved all of that feedback.
Yes. I really do miss those old days where we had
all that
such
feedback.
a great show to talk about and get everybody involved in.
Excited.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So fun. Life after the pandemic has gotten so busy, and we know that everyone has so much to do with their day. So we definitely appreciate that y'all still listen, watch on YouTube, join us on Patreon.
Yes.
Join us on Facebook.
Podcast. Join us on Facebook, because we know there is a lot pulling our attention these days. So
Yes.
we definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sistah Speak Nation, for always supporting us and sending in those testimonies so that new people could get to know who we are and why we have such an amazing family.
Amazing family.
Yes.
You're all so awesome, Sauce. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Greatly appreciate it.
Yes. We love you
And
all.
it's not just 4 sisters. We are a family.
Yes.
Yes. We have
are.
lots
True
of
family.
Yes.
brothers
True family.
too.
Yes.
And daddies and
Absolutely.
uncles. Yeah.
I don't know
All
about no
of 'em.
daddies.
All of
Daddies?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we
Must be
do.
some
Yeah, we
daddies out
do.
there.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I was just asking.
I'll call some names after we
I was going to
go.
say, don't let us call it out.
No.
Say something, but maybe I
don't
won't.
call them out.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know who they is.
Well, we hope that y'all enjoyed this little break-in testimonial. We hope that you stay tuned for the live Ask the Sistahs at ReggieCon at Illinois State University. Thank you so much for Zombie Scotty for inviting us to partake
Yes.
in this convention.
Thank
we love
you so much, Zombie Scotty.
Thank you so much.
You're
Such an
Zombie.
amazing event. Such
Yes.
an amazing thing that he plans.
Yes.
I know.
Ends it. So
Yes.
it's amazing. So we hope that you stay tuned and enjoy the live Ask the Sistahs.
Yep. Keep tuned in.
On that note, I'm Sister K.
I'm Sister J.
I am Sister LM.
And I'm Sister A.
See y'all next time. Bye.
Keep tuned in. Ta-ra.
Don't go nowhere. Just keep on rolling.
I think we're going to go ahead and get started. This is day 2 of ReggieCon Live. And what we're going to do now is Sistah Speak, Ask the Sistahs. Welcome, Sistah Speak. Hello, Sistahs.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
ReggieCon.
Hey, ReggieCon. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes.
Yes.
We're thrilled that you're here. What I want to do real quick is have the people on the stage introduce themselves, tell us something about who they are, what they do, and then we'll ask you to take over the show with your podcast. So we'll start on my left here with Eric. There we go, check. All right. Eric Wesselmann, social psychology professor, Illinois State University, full-time nerd.
The mic the other way. Yeah. Listen to the empty chair. Gotta get selected the empty chair. I am Victor Dandridge, lovingly called the hardest working man in comics. I'm a self-publishing comic creator from Columbus, Ohio, here to represent OH. Yay! Oh. Well, oh, he's here to represent. Oh, yeah. It's the thought provoking.
I am Dr. Mastin, licensed clinical psychologist, DEI professional. podcast host, queen of all things nerddom.
I'm not. I'm Alex Simmons, freelance writer, writing coach, writing consultant, also international speaker, and the founder of the Kids Comic Con going into his 18th year. Thank you very much.
Every time you started saying international, I think you're going to say international man of mystery.
Man on the move.
International man of the moon. My name is Justine Mastin. I'm a psychotherapist, author, and so much more. And I'm best known as being the co-author of the book Starship Therapies, Using Therapeutic Fan Fiction to Rewrite Your Life. I have a few copies in my bag. I don't want to take them.
You will not be given help. I'm Scott Jordan, cognitive scientist, philosopher here at Illinois State University, also known as Sir Zombie Scotty. So, ladies, the show is yours.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. I'll just introduce myself. I am Sistah A. I'm coming from you from Boston, Massachusetts tonight. Very excited to be here and to be part of the Sistah Speak Productions podcast.
And I am Sistah LM, aka Literary Marie from Detroit, Michigan. And I'm excited to be here virtually at ReggieCon.
And I am Sistah K, aka Kelsey, and I'm coming to you live from Dallas, Texas. And I am also super excited to be here virtually and so sorry that we couldn't be there in person with all of y'all. Just a little bit about Sistah Speak and how we got started if y'all haven't heard of us before. Sister J, who is not with us today virtually, there are 4 sisters actually. And Sister J is the missing sister, but her and I started the podcast back in 2007 because we were talking, just water cooler talk, kind of about some of the shows that we loved, and we noticed a lack of diversity on certain reality competition shows that we loved, and one in particular who was always casting to stereotypes. And you can probably guess which show that was, because we were lamenting about the fact that they always seemed to cast a Black person who couldn't swim, or a Black woman who was always arguing or fussing with someone. And it was just perpetuating over year, every season they would do the same. So we hadn't noticed much conversation like we were having in the podcast world, even though podcasting was fairly new at the time. And we decided just to start our own and just sat down next to each other. We're both in Dallas, and just started talking and putting those episodes out. And we started getting people listening and folks writing in, and segue over to Sistah A, who joined us in 2011.
I did. I was an original listener to the podcast. I started listening to them back in 2007. I have been watching shows like Lost and Survivor, and I really wanted to find a podcast, people that talked about theory and the great characters, things like that. And I happened across Sistah Speak with J and K, and I was hooked. The humor that these two had, I would just crack up every time. So I somehow was lucky enough to strike up a friendship with Sistah K. We played Words with Friends together. And when Sistah J wanted to take a break from reality TV, she asked me to guest host, and the rest is history.
And then later, I joined the podcast in 2013, but I was already a longtime listener with my mom, because we were watching reality TV shows and talking about, okay, what are other people thinking about the casting every year on certain reality shows? And so we happened to come across Sistah Speak, and every week we'd listen to the episodes together. And then I started writing in a little bit, and then here we are.
The rest is history.
Yeah, sure is.
One of the things that I think that made our podcast so popular at the time was we would read every single piece of feedback that we'd receive. And as you can see here in a second, we have done a lot of shows over the past almost 16 years that we've been podcasting. But we would read every single piece of feedback that we would get. And some of these shows, as you can imagine, the real popular ones we would get maybe 60 different emails or voicemails And we would read every single one. We would have to sometimes break them up a little bit because our podcast, I think our longest was 7 hours, 6 or 7 hours long, because about 4 of it was feedback. But the great thing about that, even though it was so long, is that it really helped us get to know the people listening to us, because they would ask us questions. We would ask them questions back on the podcast. We would get to know them through those emails, and then they would get to know each other. So it kind of formed what we call the Sistah Speak family, which in turn in 2016, we decided to get together at a podcast movement in Chicago, and actually us four met for the very first time. And then we had a Sistah Speak family reunion with a lot of listeners that came from all over the country to meet us, and we had a blast. It was so fun. It's like we knew each other and we had never met in person before. That's actually where we met Sir Zombie Scotty, and which y'all lovingly refer to as Dr. Scott Jordan. And we have just, over the years, we've tried to get together every single year. This is just a few little photos from some of our different reunions that we've had. And it has just been a life-changing experience being part of this Sistah Speak Productions series of podcasts.
Yes.
So, getting into one of our favorite shows, Ask the Sistahs, which is the podcast that we will be doing live today. I will stop sharing our screen. One of the reasons we love this show so much is because we do get to hear from the nation, the family, about questions they have for us. Some of them are silly, some of them are serious. And we give our perspective on their question. So all four sisters usually have very different ideas of what we would do in a situation. We are not therapists, so we always stress that this is just our personal opinions when we're answering these questions. And we have several questions here to go through today.
And since we're missing a sister, we're going to ask one of the ReggieCon crew to give their opinion as well to the questions that are asked. So we'll pick one of you to answer briefly, but remember, KTSS. Keep it short.
Oh, that means keep that shit short.
There you go.
Thank you, Zombie. And also, since we couldn't be there in person with you today, we'd like to keep things a little fun and entertaining and play a little match game in between our questions. For those of you who don't know what the match game is, here's a little explanation. Each contestant will be asked to fill in a blank question. They'll have about a minute to think about their answer, while our celebrity guests, the ReggieCon crew, will write down their answers on a board. The contestant will tell the audience their answer, and if one of our celebrity guests matches the contestant's answer, that contestant will win a prize. But they'll probably also win a prize if they're not right or not matched.
Can I just show them what's at stake?
Oh, yes, please.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Woo!
Woo, 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 woo.
All right. So we greatly appreciate ReggieCon crew, y'all jumping in and helping us fill in for our missing sister today.
Yes.
Thank you.
Grab your khakis. You got a text.
Oh, one of our people are texting. Okay, so we're going to get right on into our very first Ask the Sistahs question. And this question comes from Anonymous. They say, I have been married for too many years to count. My husband is a brilliant man. He is also a narcissist. Don't worry, I can hold my own. I am also a very private person. However, my husband is a social butterfly and gossips to all who would hear about my business and everyone else's business. This bothers me to no end. We have spoken about this, but being he is the man, he is the God of man, he does not listen. How can I not let this bother me? Are there any tricks of the trade? I am down and out in the friggin' armpit of Virginia. Laugh out loud, Anonymous. So anonymous, I will go ahead and answer that question first. I feel like not being a single person that's not married, my answer may be a little bit different from others who are married. But I feel like you will probably need to just accept that this is who your husband is. And even though you've voiced your opinion to him before and you've asked him not to share your information, share your personal business because you really don't like it, he still continues to do so. This is who you've chosen to marry and live your life with. So I'm not quite sure how much, excuse me, I think you'll have to go ahead and accept that this is just something that he does and just live with it. Sister A, you're our married sister on the Sistah Speak.
Yeah.
Yes. Anonymous, this is a lot, this question. I mean, talk about opposites attracting. You've gotten yourself into quite the predicament here. I think it's important for you, and I know you've been married many, many years, but it's good for you to get things off your chest with him. Even if he's not hearing you because he's a narcissist, you're still telling him how you're feeling, and I think that's important. Another option might be to maybe even get some counseling so that even though he might not give you any feedback, at least if you talk to somebody, they could give you some ideas of how you might deal with him, or at least you're being heard by somebody. And the final thing would be find a way to get that frustration out. I've heard about these places that are like, you can demolish things, smash things up or something like that. So that might help you like get those, hard feelings out in a safer way.
And not
good
on your
idea.
husband.
Yeah.
Right. Don't lash out at him.
Right.
I was also going to suggest therapy because that way he clearly wants to tell your business, but this way it's not with friends and gossip. It's with a professional that can actually help you both go through it together. So hang in there. You've already been married a lot of years. It's worth it. Hang in there.
And if we could just ask Victor what his advice might be.
With all due respect, Anonymous, the way I was raised, I'll put it like that. Your business is your business, and someone that disrespects you by putting your business out into the world gets dealt with a certain way. I'm not saying go oops upside his head, but if he wakes up a little naughty in the morning, that's his fault. Where I come from, there is this phrase, don't start none, won't be none, and you've already been told don't do it. So there has to be some consequence. And whatever you feel comfortable initiating as a consequence, whether that is a separation of things that you express to your husband, maybe you need to start journaling some things down yourself so that you're not expressing that to him, knowing that he is a pipeline for other people and your information. Sometimes you're just going to have to go, okay, well, if you can't withhold this, then I'm going to withhold something else. And you that when I say don't do it, the answer is don't do it. There you go.
Okay.
Be firm.
I like it.
I love that answer. I love that.
Thank you,
Actually,
Victor.
you channeled Sister J, honestly. You don't even
Yes.
know.
You did kind of.
Just don't start none, won't be none. That's her catchphrase.
That's right. Tell him, keep his wife's name out his mouth.
Yes, that's right.
We're going to give you one of these, Victor. I mean, no, not that one. Sorry.
That's right. Thank you so much. That was great.
Thank you.
Okay, we will go on to our second Ask the Sistahs question. And this one is coming from Jenna. Hi, Jenna. Aloha, sisters. This Jenna from Hawaii, but unfortunately living in Portland. Since it's my oh my gosh, I can't read, sorry. Since it's my first time writing in for Ask the Sistahs, I want to keep it light and funny. So I'm going to ask you my favorite would you rather question.
Ooh.
Would you rather have chronic bad breath or chronic BO?
Ooh.
Laugh out loud, and I'm going to need your reasoning behind your answers. Mahalo, Jenna.
Oh,
Ooh,
goodness.
Jenna.
Oh, thank you, Jenna.
Oh, Okay.
Those are not good options. Neither
Not
one.
at all. I would have to say, I'd say bad breath and just have a ton of gum and floss all day, every day, and manage it as much as I can.
I'm pretty much going to agree with you on that one. I said, let's do the chronic bad breath because, you can at least shut your mouth, but you can't
And wear
turn
a
your body
mask.
off from
And
smelling,
wear a
so-
mask.
And wear a mask. Yeah, get the gum and the mints. Keep your mouth shut.
I'm with y'all, the bad breath, because you can't get escape body odor.
No.
Like at
No,
least,
you can't.
with the masks today, or even maybe you can go get some dental help for that. Maybe it's the
Yeah.
diet, whatever the issue is. I feel like the breath would be more manageable to handle.
I think so.
There's not enough perfume you can put on to cover BO. So,
No.
No.
And for our
yes, I was just going to say, why don't we have Eric give us his answer on this one, please?
Make a choice, man. Well, I feel like I'm just repeating what everybody else said because I would also go with the bad breath because you can control who you talk to, how close you get to them, wear the mask, right? Binocular the shit out of that. And there you go.
Hi. How are you? Yeah.
If I wasn't an introvert before, I will be now.
Thank you, Jenna, for that question, and ReggieCon crew.
And
for
thank
the
you,
answer.
Eric.
Okay, our third question is from Carla. Hey, Carla. Hi,
Carla.
sisters. Hi, sisters. Backstory. My mother died 2 years ago from cancer. Sorry about that, Carla. Ooh, that's hard.
Yeah.
My stepdad and I cared for my mother during her last year of life during COVID and became close. Since she has died, he has a new relationship and doesn't spend time with my kids, which he used to see every few days. He started dating months after my mom died and now seems to avoid me. Should I meet his new girlfriend? How do I communicate that I am disappointed in his lack of effort to spend time with my family? Any advice is appreciated. Thanks, Carla from Canada.
Thank you,
Ooh.
Carla.
Thank you,
Ooh.
Carla.
First of all, Carla, I'm really sorry to hear about your mom passing. This is a really difficult situation. I'm sure it's difficult for you as well as for your stepdad and the kids especially. I would just try to pull him aside if you can to tell him how difficult it is for you, him not coming around as much anymore, because I'm sure your kids got used to him. And of course, he was with your mom. So I know it's probably hard for him. And especially with him moving on somewhat quickly, in my mind, to have a girlfriend and everything like that, it would be hard for me to accept that. But I think it would be important to try to contact him. And if that means him coming around with the girlfriend, then I think it would be time for you to meet her and try to kind of move on and be strong for the kids and everything.
I have a similar answer. I definitely think you should meet the girlfriend, especially because they're together and you want him to spend time with your family. So you have to meet her. But pull him to the side, give him a call or meet him for lunch or dinner one day, just one-on-one, and say, I miss you. I miss the relationship we had with my mom. Just get your feelings out to him and then let him know you are interested in meeting his girlfriend and that the kids would like to see him and spend time with him again.
Mm-hmm.
I agree as well. I'm thinking, though, that he might be avoiding you because maybe he feels like you'll feel a certain kind of way about him having moved on fairly quickly. And nobody, I don't think, can judge how quickly someone does or doesn't move on because everybody grieves differently. But maybe he's feeling a certain kind of way about it and thinks that you will, and maybe he's avoiding that conversation. So you reaching out to him might be what he needs to be able to break through and have that conversation with you. But if you tell him, I don't care about all that. I just care about you and the kids miss you. Maybe that would help break that ice and get him back to, but you have to also be ready to accept what if he doesn't want to see y'all. That's the hard part. I feel like
That's true.
that could happen. So you kind of have to prepare your heart and the kids too for that as well. That's a hard situation.
It is.
Yeah.
For ReggieCon crew, could we have Vanessa answer this question?
First and foremost, Carla, I too am sorry for your loss. Cancer sucks. And I would say that first, talking to your stepdad, I think I would advise you and put you on this free therapeutic game. Use I statements. I feel this way when you do this, because this typically, if you use you statements, people become defensive. And I would agree that I don't think we can judge how quickly or how long someone should wait. It almost sounds like you may serve as a reminder of grief for your stepdad. And so I think it would be important for him to know too how hurtful that is, and also that there are kids in this situation that are being affected. So I too would recommend having this conversation in a place or from a place that is focused on understanding rather than judgment.
Nice.
Yes.
Love it.
Thank you very much, Vanessa.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you very much,
Vanessa.
Carla from Saskatchewan.
Yes, thank you, Carla. And now, Sir Zombie Scotty, if you would choose someone in the audience to be our first match game contestant.
Who wants to play match game? There's swag here to be won. Who wants to play match game?
It's real easy, y'all. It'll be real easy.
All right.
There's no right answers. It's just
No,
for fun.
there's no right answers.
Yeah.
You're just going to try to.
And then I'll give you the mic and then they ask you your answer.
All right. So the question is, and I'll read it a couple of times, so you'll have a second to think about it. Due to a mix-up in his agent's office, Snoop Dogg was accidentally entered into the Westminster Dog Show. He took home the trophy for best in blank. And fill in that blank. Celebrity guest, please write your answers.
Should we do the theme song?
Actually, I don't know that. Oh, I remember that theme song. Yes, we should have had that ready. Let us know when everyone has their answers written down. Okay, awesome. So, contestant, due to a mix-up in his agent's office, Snoop Dogg was accidentally entered into the Westminster Dog Show. He took home the trophy for best in... What is your answer?
Best in the world.
Oh.
Best in the world. Okay. So, one by one.
Who's never there? Well, I have no idea if this is an actual award, but because we're just doing this free association, I am enamored with Snoop Dogg's daily affirmations. Okay. So best affirmations.
Nice.
Okay.
Because Snoop Dogg is a rapper, I felt like this answer should rhyme. So the answer is best in the West. Best in the West.
That's close.
I immediately had lyrics in my head, and I just said best in the city of Compton.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I had two thoughts and I went with the safer one, which was best in show.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought of best in show, but I went with what was probably Alex's other thought. Went with best in.
Those are great answers.
Yes.
Good. Love it.
Allow the contestant to pick a t-shirt.
Yes, we didn't have a match, but you know what? You were brave to get up there, so please
Yes.
Still a
grab
winner.
your size. Thank you for coming up and
Thank
playing.
for coming in.
That was great.
That's there you go. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Got the rope.
We will move on to our next Ask the Sistahs question. So this is from Will from Seatown. He's another OG listener. Hey, Will.
Hey, Will.
Well,
Knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself before your first podcast? What advice would you give to someone thinking of starting a podcast? Oh, Will, you came to the right place.
ooh,
for that.
right?
I guess I'll answer this one first. I think I would tell myself before starting, just to get started. Back when we started, though, the technical side of it was so daunting that it took me a while to just learn what I needed to do. And so it kind of stopped us from getting started, and it stopped us from growing as fast as we could have grown, just because I just didn't understand all of the technical side of it, and trying to learn that plus podcast and do a day job and all that stuff. I kind of just stopped and started. But once we got going, I would say the best advice for someone thinking of starting one is just to start. Don't worry about that. Especially nowadays, there are so many free resources and paid that you can get to help you get started with a podcast. Just with our smartphones, you don't have to have fancy equipment. Just get started. And as long as your content is there and you're coming from a authentic place of why you're wanting to have these conversations, that everyone has a story or a voice to be heard, just do it. Do it on your phone. And then once you get to that next level, get your microphone, and don't get the $1,000 one, get the cheap one. That sounds good enough. And then learn a little bit how to edit. And then as you grow, you can start getting better and better. Sisters.
Very good.
Nice.
I would say knowing then what I know now about podcasting, I would just tell myself to try to relax and just be yourself. You know, it's not easy just speaking out your thoughts and knowing people are going to be listening and becoming more used to you or getting to know you really when you don't know them. And I would just say, if you're thinking of doing a podcast, go for it. As you know, it seems these days almost everybody has a podcast. There is every topic under the sun, and there is an audience for everything. So whatever you're thinking, just go for it. And as I know, and my other sisters know, you never know where it might lead.
Yes.
You never know.
Yeah.
I would say everyone has a voice out here, just like everyone has a podcast. So don't feel like, oh, it's already a podcast about this, I don't need to do it. Those other podcasts don't have your same thoughts that other people can connect to. So even if it's just you and a friend, just do it. Just start basic with your iPhone, your Android. You can even do a video podcast, which a lot of people are doing now. But just do it. You'll get the hang of it, and then start investing more in equipment and everything else. And don't half step.
No, do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then for our ReggieCon crew, could we actually ask Scott to answer this question?
To stand up for this. Well, first of all, to have good mentors. And my good mentors were you guys. I actually didn't listen to podcasts before I started listening to you guys. And I was driving from Florida to Cincinnati, and I was watching The Walking Dead. And I just wanted to listen to someone talk about The Walking Dead, but I didn't want to hear them talk the way most people talk on podcasts. So I listened to you guys, and I said, okay, I'm comfortable here. We're sitting on the back porch, sipping lemonade, talking crap about the news. That's what we're doing, because the characters are people to talk about. And it was fun, yet at the same time full of all the nuance and stuff that goes on in any after dinner conversation I have. So, one, listen to podcasts and figure out what you want to sound like, what you want to do. Two, ask yourself, why are you doing this?
Mm.
So if you're doing this to get the likes, you gotta know that. You gotta know that. If you're doing that because you got something you want to say, then the likes aren't the issue. They're always nice, but know when you're making the move toward the likes. Because when you make that move toward the likes, you're moving away from yourself, right? And so know that about yourself, and that'll at least help you address the frustration when not many people are listening to your podcast. But when you're sitting there talking with yourself or with your friends on a podcast and you're having a good time, that's real life. That's not fake, right? So that would be my know what you want, and then know what you want about it for yourself, and then listen to a few podcasts to see how you want to sound in relation to that. Good.
That is
Great
excellent,
answer.
excellent.
Well said.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you, Will, for that question.
Yeah, hey, Will, what's happening? I know Will. So.
Yes. Okay, so our next question is from Andy, and it says, let's say one partner changes their body shape due to choices only, and their partner doesn't find them attractive anymore. What is fair? How should this conflict be addressed? What else can be considered if both parties are otherwise loving and committed to each other? Thank you. Love from Canada, Andy. Ooh, Andy.
Ooh, Andy.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, if your partner is changing their body shape, I would assume they would have mentioned it to you or talked to you about it beforehand, before getting a consultation or even getting the work done. And oh goodness.
Yeah.
But you have to be honest. If you don't find your partner attractive anymore, you can't fake it. You just have to tell them. Because if you don't, it won't be fair.
How you gonna do that?
You have to,
LM?
though.
You have to.
You can't live a lie.
You cannot. No.
You got
No.
to tell them.
You have to.
Yeah.
You can't be mean about it, but just you have to tell them you're not attracted anymore.
Agreed.
Because of this new body shape.
Mm-hmm.
And so what is okay? So what is?
I already went, so I know I'm not going to have to this.
What do you think, Sister K?
Well, so for the way the question's worded, it's like due to choice. So I'm guessing it's not like they've gained weight or they've lost weight or something like that can be easily changed if they work to change it. So this is sounding like a surgery or something to me. And so I'm hoping that if that is the case, you would have talked with each other before doing so. But I guess once it's done, if they see it and go, oh no, I don't like this. I don't know. I honestly don't know what I would do in this situation. I don't know what I would do in this situation because I feel like that'd be very hard to have that conversation to say, I don't find you attractive anymore because of whatever the surgery is that you've gotten done that you thought was enhancing yourself. I liked your old self better. So I feel like that'd be more of a conversation to have before the surgery happened.
It should happen before.
Yeah, you should have had the conversation.
Right.
For sure.
But again, if it was me doing the surgery, like if I had a piece of me that I was really self-conscious about that I wanted to change, like breast reduction or enhancement, or I don't know what people get. I would never do this because I'm scared of surgeries.
Something.
But yeah, I guess if you felt a certain kind of way and wanted to change yourself, that's something that you did for yourself, hopefully, and not for someone else. So if your partner did not like it later, you would have to then determine, well, I do this for me, not for the partner, but then you might consider that you might not have your partner for long if they're that superficial.
Yeah.
I don't know, Sister A.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say, like, I've been in a long-term relationship and, you have to talk things through. So I think there should have been a conversation before, even if it's something you're doing for yourself, they are your partner and they need to know what's going on. And then now afterwards, things are different and somebody's, choices have changed and they wanted to adjust themselves or whatever they have decided to do, but still to have the conversation. And he said as part of his question that there's still love and commitment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's how it is after a long time. It's not just an appearance or attraction. I mean, of course, that's important, but there's so much more to the relationship. So just keep communicating and hopefully with time, you can make a decision together about what should happen. And we would just love to hear from the ReggieCon crew. Would Alex give us his opinion?
Alex. You're lucky.
I know.
Oh, you were ready for it.
I was ready.
Oh, well, go whoever.
Oh, well, go ahead.
Yeah,
You were
anybody.
ready
Go
for
ahead.
it. Go ahead.
I have no problems with giving that one to you.
Oh yeah, I got big feelings on this. So first up, let's talk about social constructs. All right, because this is what helps us form what we're attracted to. And I don't know anything about this human or their history, but I know that they grew up in this world, and in this world, we are told that certain body types are more attractive than other body types. And so I would invite this human to start questioning the social constructs of the world in which they grew up and what they were told was beautiful. And get curious about whether they are not feeling attracted to their partner because they have been indoctrinated to not find whatever it is attractive. So that's A. B, we don't know what this is, right? Some people consider weight gain or loss to be a choice, or, you know, change of body shape.
Tattoo.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I used to change my hair a lot. I got a lot of tattoos. I work out in the gym. I've got muscles. My partner might be like, I'm not down with the muscles anymore. And I'd be like,
Our recipe for it.
Right. Right. And so there's so many things this could be that I don't feel like I could speak to that specifically, but I do want to invite the questioner to get curious about why they aren't finding their partner as attractive as they once did, and get curious with themselves rather than handing this to their partner as though it's something their partner did wrong. Because yes, if they did something without consulting their partner, they're an autonomous human being who gets to decide what to do with their minds and bodies. And unless they had some kind of arrangement in their relationship that they consulted, that they were supposed to consult with each other before making changes to their physical being. The last thing I want to say is, if this is something about change of making changes to their physical form to more appropriately present as the gender that they have discovered they are or have always been and have decided to transition to, this happens. In relationships, one partner, you know, you come into the relationship believing you're in a relationship with someone of one gender. They make this discovery over time, maybe physically transition, and then there can be some physical attractiveness concerns based on the sexual orientation of the folks in the relationship, and that requires some counseling and some navigating. So I thank you for letting me get on my soapbox.
Thank you, Justine.
Thank
you for that.
Thank
That
you.
was great.
Yes.
Thank you, Andy, for your question.
Yes, thank you, Andy. All right, so our next question, we're moving right on. Our next question is from Jackie. Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
She asks, would you rather be a marriage counselor / family therapist for Jamie and Cersei Lannister, or for Rhaenyra, for Rhaenyra and Daemon Targaryen?
Ooh.
So this is a Game of Thrones / House of the Dragon related question.
Yeah.
So let me read that again. Would you rather be a marriage counselor, family therapist for Jamie and Cersei Lannister, or Rhaenyra and Daemon Targaryen? Sister A.
Oh yeah, Jackie, how you doing? Thank you for this TPQ, as we call them, a thought-provoking question. I'd rather not get marriage or therapy advice from either of these couples, but I guess if I had to pick, I would pick Rhaenyra and Daemon. only because they are not twins. And they have a little bit of gene mixing in there and some generational time between them. So perhaps they would have a little bit more extensive advice for somebody that was in need.
Okay.
This would be if you were their therapist.
If you were the therapist.
Oh, if I was the therapist?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, that's totally
I thought they were giving me advice, and I was like, I don't want either of their advices.
That's a hard question, Jackie.
That is a hard question. Yeah.
I feel like I would want Cersei and Jamie.
Okay.
I'd want to be their
Why?
therapist to figure
Yeah.
out like the dynamic between the two. I feel like that one would maybe be a little easier to navigate. This is me not being a therapist. I would have no idea, or a
can see
counselor.
that.
I would have no idea what I would need, like what skills would I need to talk to them. But they have some very strange tendencies in that family. So I would hope that maybe if I was there to help them, they would have not killed my Ned.
How about you, LM? What are you thinking?
I would be a therapist for Rhaenyra and Damon. I feel like they would listen more because Jamie and Cersei, they're like tunnel vision. They're going to do what they want to do anyway, regardless of what advice I would give. But I think Rhaenyra would listen and persuade Damon. So I'd pick them.
Okay.
That was straightforward. Yeah.
Yes. And our
All right.
ReggieCon crew, how about Alex this time?
See, I can buy on to this one too because I didn't watch Game of Thrones, so I have no idea who we're talking about.
Clutch my pearls. What?
Hey, sometimes I'm busy writing. I ain't got time.
I get that. I do get that.
Yeah.
So anyone else on ReggieCon crew want to take this question?
I will. I don't want any parts of doing therapy with Damon. Because that pathology runs deep. That with that sexist too, that we talking about that. No, I want none of that. He had me in there convinced that something wrong with me. And I don't no part of that. Give me Jamie and Cersei all day. Because again, I think that what they have going on is more situation. I think we saw as on Jamie, we saw some glimpses of hope there with him. David, there's no hope for him. So no, thank you. I don't want any parts of that. Rhaenyra alone, but not them together. No, thank you.
Very good. Thanks, Vanessa.
Plus, if you say something wrong to Damon, you're going to be like, gone.
Yes.
Gonna get got.
Get got. All righty. So then let's see. We have another. We have time for another match game question. So, Sir Zombie Scotty.
Who wants to play match game? All right, we have a contestant for match game.
Okay, come on down.
Woohoo!
You work well.
Like the play match game.
All right. So the question is, did you hear Alexa and Siri are dating and things are really heating up? They are ready to take the next step and switch themselves to blank mode.
Ooh.
Did you hear Alexa and Siri are dating and things are really heating up? They are ready to take the next step and switch themselves to fill in the blank mode. Yes.
Sorry. I wrote something.
All right. Do y'all have all of your answers written? Awesome. Okay, contestant, one more time. Did you hear Alexa and Siri are dating and things are really heating up? They are ready to take the next step and switch themselves to
Engagement mode.
Ooh. That's a good question. That's a good answer.
Good answer.
Okay, ReggieCon crew.
This time we'll start with Victor.
We're adults here, so I figure the mode would be safe sex mode. Safe sex mode, safe sex.
I just know that. Yeah. Just
Oh.
wondering.
I elected to say it's cuffing season. Cuffing season.
I think of the three so far, I've come the closest. Launch mode.
Oh,
That's good.
That's good.
I took this, I guess, a little literally, and I thought that they would go into do not disturb.
okay.
Silence.
Silence.
I know there's some AI stuff going on there, so I said chat GPT mode. Oh, of course, you should get a picture. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for being brave. Pick a shirt.
Yes.
Chat GPT might be their baby,
Thank
right?
you so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we have a couple more questions to go. So our next question is from Robert from the Bay and VA, another OG listener.
Yay.
Hey, Robert. My question is, how would y'all handle your in-laws when they babysit your infant kids and they don't follow the rules you set?
Uh-oh.
I know. For example, keeping your kids on schedule, like set times to eat and nap. Also, making sure they don't give them snacks and candies multiple times throughout the day. Giving them the iPad or phone outside of their set time to use them and not monitoring what they are using the iPad for. I only ask because this is causing issues when it's my turn to take care of them, and it's frustrating, especially after having built a foundation on keeping them on schedule. And also, I notice more whining and crying for certain things like the iPad and wanting to watch YouTube instead of their design learning material that they should be doing, when before it didn't used to be that way. I feel like when I bring these things up to the in-laws, they don't take me seriously. There is also a language barrier element that I should mention. I fear that one day I might blow up on them, which I sure don't want to do.
Mm-mm.
Anyways, I hope you can help me out with this, sisters. Thank y'all. Robert from the Bay.
Ooh.
Thank you, Robert. Whew, this is
That's
a tickle.
touchy.
This is another touchy
That's really
one.
touchy.
Yeah.
I feel like, though, you're going to maybe need to talk with your wife because these are her parents, and y'all are going to need to maybe have a sit-down conversation together, not just you, talking to them about the situation, about because your kids are tiny still. They're still little.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And about how if they do keep the kids or spend time with them, that you're trying to set these examples, and that, yes, it's okay to maybe, they're probably not going to follow all of your rules, but especially the ones with the social media or the iPads and all of the screen time and things like that, bedtimes and sweets and their diet, because they might have special diets. Those are important things. So I feel like y'all are going to have to both have a conversation with the in-laws. And unfortunately, if you feel strongly enough about it, if they still do not want to honor those things, might have to limit some of the time that they have with them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I kind of am thinking the same thing. I mean, you have, two different generations. You also have, I feel like our generation was brought up differently than the current generation. So there's that kind of a gap as well. And you definitely, I think, would talk to your wife who would have the language of her parents. And, kids really do need scheduling, especially because yours are so tiny, just to get them on the right track and things like that. You definitely don't want to blow up at your in-laws. That's definitely not going to work for you in the future at all. So definitely more conversations with her. And I like Sistah K's recommendation of everybody sitting down together so that everybody understands exactly what you're trying to accomplish here.
It sounds like they may also be in that grandparent mode of feed them sugar, let them do what they want, and send them home.
Yep.
which happens a lot. But it is best to sit down with your wife and the in-laws and discuss it with them together. Of course, discuss it with your wife first. And I'm interested to know if your wife is like how she feels about it too.
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Mm-hmm.
But a conversation needs to be had because you can't get them back home and you have to deprogram them and put them back on the schedule and then it get reversed again.
Yep.
I don't agree with on stage here.
Okay. What would Victor say about this
He
question?
had a response immediately.
But it skipped over me.
Yeah.
So as a father, this has been a conversation I've had. The first thing that you have to recognize, number one, is when you are dropping your child off at someone else's house, it's their house, their rules. Though it is my child, I am electing to have them be in that person's care, and I can't dictate specifically what they do in that sense of care that they're providing, because they're doing me the favor of taking on my child. However, the person that I would address is not the in-laws. It would be my child. Do not ask for these things that you know that we wouldn't give you. Don't do that. Because worst case scenario, you still have to come home and you got to deal with us here. That's how I was raised. You know, I might be at Nana's house and I might get to do the ripping and running, but I've got to go home and so and that will get addressed. That is not forgotten. And it is important to establish what that system boundary is. Obviously with the in-laws, there is a level that could go too far. If there was a dietary concern, don't give my child sugar because they react like this. If it's like a medical thing, then obviously, no, don't give my child sugar. Then if you do it anyway, we're going to have a problem. But that should be an easily understood rule as opposed to potentially an overbearing opinion. But overall, if I'm bringing my child to you, I have to trust that you will treat them correctly, not necessarily as I specifically am prescribing, but as you would treat any grandchild that would come over, and that does mean sweets. That does mean spoiling. That does mean a lot of things. However, it is incumbent to teach the child that your environment can change the rules. What you do at home may not be what you do outside of home. What you do at school may not be the same thing that you do at home. And you have to be aware of your presence in that environment and act accordingly. So if you know you can get away with it, grandma, cool. Don't bring that home. Don't bring that home.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Victor.
Thank
That's
you.
good.
Yes.
And
I
thank
know
you,
for a
Robert, from the
fact,
Bay.
though, Robert's kids are tiny. They're like 2 and 1, I think.
They're newbies.
Yeah.
They're new babies. So.
Hey, you can't ask for no YouTube if you two. You better sit down.
Okay. Hello. All right. So we have one more question left, and it is from Goody Roop. Hey, Goody.
Hey, Goody.
Excuse me, y'all. So this one's a little bit long, so just bear with me a second. My bestie from college and I are estranged. We swore loyalty forever and stay close up until our late 30s, and then something changed. I will admit I was busy having some misadventures of my own, probably not being super consistent in replying to texts. She borrowed some money, but when I asked for her to pay me back, she wouldn't discuss it, and her husband instead paid me back a little each month until it was settled. We drifted apart mainly because I started avoiding her. She got mad and lashed out and told me we were supposed to be ride or die, and she is right. A year later, I invited her over to the house for a cookout as an attempt to reconnect. I am 99.999% sure that she stole some prescription medication. I mentioned my suspicion to a mutual friend, and he said she had definitely stolen some pain pills from him in the past. So then my wife and another close friend told me to just forget it, you can't trust her, and deep in my heart, I knew they were right. When her first daughter graduated, my old friend reached out and said that she still wanted to be friends no matter what happened in the past. I sent the baby girl a graduation gift, but did not engage much with the mom. Now the second daughter is about to graduate. I'm very wary and suspicious of my old friend, but I also miss hanging out with her and her girls. Can y'all think of any reason why I should invite this woman back into my life the next time she reaches out? I am by my nature a very loyal friend and have definitely stood by my other homies when they struggled with addictions, but no one has ever stolen from me or told quite as many lies as this woman. On one hand, I want to stay away from possible drama, but on the other hand, it has been years, and perhaps I owe her another benefit of the doubt. Sincerely, Goody from North Kakalaki, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Ooh.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Goody, you already said that you don't trust her. So I can't think of any reason why you should really invite her back into your life. You did send a gift for the first daughter. So I do think you should do the same thing for the second daughter now that she's graduating. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have to invite the college bestie back into your life. Now, if she maybe reaches out to you and is honest and stops with the lies, then have a conversation and build from there. But otherwise, I'd keep my distance.
Yeah.
And for me, Goody, I think she will just need to be recategorized. At least for me, I have friends, and there's like a whole spectrum of what that means. So I have some that are like work friends, some that are acquaintances, and we can kiki and say hello and laugh about something, but they're not at my house. I have friends that are close that I would have in my house, and I would go to theirs. And then I have the ones that will go on trips together, so I have different categories, and you might just need to relegate her, like change her from the college bestie to just like an acquaintance. Hi, bye, how are the kids? They're graduating, let me send them some graduation money, maybe a birthday party or two. You might have to just change how you think about this friendship because of all of that history. And if you can't trust someone, for me, I don't really like a lot of people in my house anyway. I'm just weird that way. But even like real close friends, I've been to their house all kind of time, but they rarely come to mine. And they do mention it, and I say, well, hey, this is how, you love me, you take me how I am, whatever. Yeah. But I definitely wouldn't have her back in the house, especially if I thought she stole something from me. But I think if she reaches out to you or you see her in the street, be pleasant, be cordial. Hello. Oh, yes. When's the baby graduating? I'll send a gift over. But as far as reaching out to her to actively go and do something with her, I don't think I would do that. At least I wouldn't if it was me.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Hey, Goody Roop. How you doing? This here is a real mess. We've all had friends from, back in the day and high school and college and stuff like that. But based on what you're telling us, I would let this one go. In my life, I try to avoid as much drama as possible, especially having gotten burned in the past, more than once in the past. And there's enough drama that occurs naturally as we go through life. Yeah. So for me, I know you're very busy. You got that new job, which is very challenging. You've got your wife and your friends and family. And I think to add in any extra drama right now is a lot. So I'd focus on your wife, your family, your good friends, and give this one a pass.
All right. So the ReggieCon crew, you can actually,
for this one, I would like everyone to answer.
Oh, like it. I like it.
And I'm going to jump in. I'll try and keep this short. I've been in the situation that was described to a certain degree several different times in my life, including with the friend of one of my children. And it's a hard place to be. I don't like to generalize, so I will say a couple of things. One, I don't know, and I mean no disrespect, but I don't know anything about the person who's asked the question. So one is, where are you in your life and your head in terms of tolerance, patience, time, all of those factors that you would need the resources in order to deal with this person if you brought them back into your life in any way, shape, or form.
So that's one. If you don't know anything about this woman, this friend of yours, over the past few years, yes, you can make a judgment call now about, well, she did this in the past, so I'm not going to deal with her, blah, blah, blah. Or you can look at yourself and say, okay, do I have an inclination, the time, the resources, and everything to have a conversation with her and see what's happening? And the last thing I'll say is that I agree that since you gave a gift for one child, yes, there's no reason to punish her children for something that she did. So absolutely send something to this second child. But everything else, it's about where you are and maybe a little bit about where she is, and then make some sort of a decision about that.
Great answer.
Yes, love it.
Thank you.
So in addition to being a marriage and family therapist, I'm also a licensed alcohol and drug counselor. And it sounds like we're talking about someone who has a difficult relationship with chemicals. And we don't know where that person is in their process. So we don't know if when they stole these drugs, they were in active addiction. We can make that assumption, but we don't know where they are now. And if they are in any realm of recovery, whether it's a harm reduction model or a 12-step, what have you, they could be in a very different place, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and they might be a much better friend now, and not be drama. So I think it's up to the questioner whether she wants to even open that door and ask the question, but she may find a very different person on the other side of that door than she had there a few years ago.
Great answer.
So I don't really have a whole lot to add. I mean, the common theme that I would like to riff on is that first and foremost, for the questioner, they need to do what's best, what they feel is best for them and their family, right? I mean, that's the key. And if that means cutting someone out, it hurts, but it means cutting someone out, right? There's a whole lot we don't know, but I do want to sort of say something that I think resonated with me, or what I heard from the question was attention. Right. And what we know, the psychology of interpersonal relationships, right? When we connect with other people, our memories, et cetera, we do bring them into our self-concept, right? And so to cut someone loose may sound easy when we give it as advice, but I do want to sort of acknowledge and honor that tension, that it is not an easy decision. And so I do want to validate that tension that I'm hearing. But once again, at the end of the day, they need to do what is best for themselves and their family.
I'll go last. Oh, you go last? You'll go last? Okay. What was the name of that Jordan Peele movie that just came out? The last one that he did? No. Yeah, that's the answer. No. There is no rationale that you could provide that says that you owe this person any further opportunity. You should, and I agree with Alex, do for the babies. Do for the babies because babies didn't do nothing. But anybody that would, especially in this regard, hold on to, well, you said we were ride or die. The idea is that when we made that agreement, that we would grow together. And clearly, I've outgrown you, and so I've outgrown that promise. That is something you will not hold over me, and I won't give you that kind of power if you can't manage that level of responsibility. You haven't earned it, therefore I'm not giving it to you. The answer is no.
I just want to situate myself. Many people very close to me have struggled with addiction, and so I want to agree with what Eric said, that there is a tension, and there is it's very difficult to just tell somebody we're done, I think. And so what I would say is I think there's an opportunity here for renegotiating boundaries. So we were ride or die. That's not what we are now after you stole from me. And so I think that if this person, the writer, the questioner, decides that this is a relationship they want to continue to explore, the first thing that absolutely has to be done is renegotiating boundaries in a relationship. And I think the first thing that the questioner has to do for themselves is, what are your non-negotiables in the relationship? One non-negotiable is you ain't gonna steal my shit. Come on now. So once that's done, once that happens, we're done. But I think that for the questioner, before you even approach this person to renegotiate these boundaries, understand for yourself, what are my non-negotiables in this relationship? No stealing, no don't be messing with the kids, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I would agree. Also do for their kids, because kids need all the love that they can get, right?
Yes.
Well, you guys have said so many wonderful things. All I'll say is, I've been called the shadow guy, because stuff I say comes across as negative.
Oh, man.
But what I would say is, pick your pain. And what I mean by that is, as my colleagues have said, I can say no, and I don't know if it ever really means no. I can say it, but what's going to happen, how I feel a month later, and just manage it from day to day, picking your pain. And if you're in a position where you can pick your pain, you're living a pretty good life, right? Mm-hmm. So picking your pain is not a negative mantra. It's an adult way of managing who you let in and who you keep out. And I figured that would be what I would say.
Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you all. These were excellent answers.
Thank you for fantastic questions and for including us in your Ask the Sistahs podcast. Yeah.
We do have one more match game question if we have another contestant.
Okay. Come on. We need one more match game contestant.
Oh, somebody.
Come on. Oh, you're going to come up, Fabio? You're going to come up? Fabio?
Oh, yay.
Okay.
The one, the only, the Fabio is going to be contested on our match game.
Awesome. Hey, Fabio.
Hey, Fabio.
Hey, Fabio.
Okay, the question is. Okay, the question is, everybody loves the song It's Raining Men. But if it was about what women really wanted, it would be called It's Raining Blank. And fill in the blank.
Wait, is it 18 and up?
Everybody loves the song It's Raining Men. Everybody loves the song It's Raining Men, but if it was about what women really wanted, it would be called It's Raining Blank. Ooh, I'm interested to hear these answers.
And two answers.
Let us know when you guys have finished your answers.
Sweat this one out.
Probably I think you sweat a bit too.
Take your time. Take your time.
Foreigner. Need to process and think.
Have you ever watched the match game, Fabio?
Maybe. No. But if there's a TV version, of course I haven't.
There's a TV version.
No. It didn't was on TV on my tree house with my monkeys. Yeah. No.
So is the panel ready? All right.
Okay. Panel is ready. I'll read it one more time for you. Everybody loves the song It's Raining Men, but if it was about what women really wanted, it would be called It's Raining Blank.
How many women I'm going to piss off? Maybe it would be It's Raining Money.
Okay.
Okay.
It's raining money.
It's raining money.
All right, ReggieCon crew, reveal.
All right, so Vanessa, please.
No, Vanessa go first.
Shouldn't Vanessa go first?
I'll go first. Mine says it's raining, fill in the blank, because women are not monolithic.
Okay.
All right.
You are.
Oh, me. Oh. I picked up another song. So It's Raining Respect.
Very good answer.
Right here. I looked over your shoulder and I thought I said regret. But what we don't have is enough money.
Yes.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Justine.
And then women of color
Make less.
make less than that.
Eric.
Yeah, you should there.
All right, well, my answer is so much less entertaining, much more boring. Vanessa actually nailed it much more eloquently than I could. I'm going to plead the research fifth and say that I would need to see the data for a large sample size. Wait, not the data.
Oh. Did like Alex did, respect. So we got a match right here.
Is that what?
I saw.
All right. Okay.
Now, what's funny is this is like the fourth time Alex and I have been in sync with our mindset. So, yeah. So,
Dad.
That's fun.
So I think Fabio definitely gets a show. I mean,
Yes.
Yay!
Awesome. Fabio,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
Before we cut out and let y'all enjoy the rest of your evening, we just want to say a heartfelt thank you to Sir Zombie Scotty, House Silver Fox, Lord Commander of the Sistahs Guard, Keeper of the Rose, Slayer of Dance Floors, Man of Many Faces, and Confidant of Sir Clifford of House P Valley. We want to say
Yes.
thank you so much for including us in ReggieCon. Thank you to all of the ReggieCon crew for helping fill in for our missing sister today.
Yes.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for
to
everybody who attended out there in the
Yes.
crowd. We appreciate you.
Thank you all.
thank you all so
you.
much for coming.
And we'd love to have y'all if you ever want to have a quick laugh and hear more of the sisters. Definitely check us out, SistahSpeakProductions.com. We would love to have you join our Sistah Speak family.
Yes. Thank you again.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Bye.